Well, hello and welcome everybody to the last day of May.
It's the last day of May. Live stream with Cruising with Wheels.
Woo woo! What do we want to start with? Do we want to start with saying hello to everybody?
Yeah, I want to say hi to everybody because, it seems like forever we haven't seen everyone.
Right, so first in the chat, congratulations to Annie
Stanier. She was first in the room.
Tony Wilson is here with her mom, so we want to say hi and thank you for coming to the live stream.
Yep.
Mama Wilson. We also have Silo Steve here.
Silo Steve is in the house.
Karen Tolles. Camille
Castorina. Susan Morton.
Karen Carter.
Karen Carter saw the updated profile pic. Adorbs.
Good to see you. It is very good to see you. We also want to say hello to Chantel, Janet, Foxy Hawk, Random Cruiser, Sierra Ramos, Jason Lott, Kristen Askew.
Melissa Hayes, Keith Child, Faith Hoitzma, Vanessa Wyndham, Matt Burns, Sam Miffleton,
John Carlo, Cheryl Croft, Sherry Blair, Viva's Mama, and El Rondo.
Wow.
We also have Tim Sanchez popping in right now. Hello.
And Lisa Anderson.
Adam Clark is here.
Kelly Deneen.
Welcome to the chat. We're all very, well, we're all. Frank and I are very excited to see you.
Too.
I apologize. The puppies are not happy to see you because they're locked away in the kitchen right now.
Yeah, they're up in the kitchen.
So
but we adore them. Nobody wants to hear them running around moaning and whining.
Right. I agree.
Hard to focus on the chat when there's a baby down here going.
Let's see if this works.
What?
Is this going to work?
I don't know. What are you doing?
Oh, it's not working, baby.
Sadly.
Oh, well. It worked earlier.
Sean G, Tom Y, Margot Arlington. Late to the fun. No, you're not.
Oh, you know what? I hope they can hear us because I can see that the level is working.
Yes.
But we might just be chitty-chatting away.
Amongst ourselves? I hope not.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Hey, Laura.
They'll let us know if they can't hear us.
You can't hear us, right? We're not just talking in our heads.
So we want to welcome you all to the chat. We kind of have some notes, but this is going to be an open chat. Any questions? We want to know what's on your mind today. We want to let you know that we are hashtag staying at home with you.
Yes, we are. And don't worry, even when Kevin heads back to work, I am still home with you.
So what's going on today, Frank?
Well, first of all, I want to talk about our Facebook group, Cruise Chat, because that's always exciting. We get so many people every week that join Cruise Chat on Facebook that we're up to, as of this morning, 3,673 people are part of Facebook Cruise Chat. So that's exciting.
That is awesome.
And I want to make sure that everybody shares their experiences, shares their stories, asks questions, and everybody, of course, gets along.
Right. So as a reminder, this is what the screen looks like at the top. It's Cruise Chat. And it is by us, Cruising with Wheels, which is, of course, Kevin and Frank. So if you haven't already checked out Cruise Chat and become a regular member of that group, there is a link in the description of this video. So check it out.
Right. Just click to join and I will approve you. We want to say hi to Big Marilyn. She's here. Rick Thibodeau and Jenny Hess. Jenny, always good to see you. I promised all my Facebook, my Cruising with Wheels Facebook diet buddies. How many Frank's Weight Loss Challenge diet buddies do we have in the room? Because I posted my weight loss this morning, and I invited everybody and let everybody know that we were going to be live today, and we were going to talk about my weight loss history and journey. Lord knows it has not helped being quarantined, though I'm used to it.
Don't blame me.
But, you know, I'm not going to blame anybody, really, because it really is no one's fault.
It's not my fault.
But it really is hard to be quarantined with Kevin because he's always hungry. He's like, I know, right? Remember that video? He's like, you know, partner in crime, but he's like the gang leader heading to the refrigerator or the cupboard.
I don't know how to make the little gray things come across the screen right now while we're live. But I'll link in that video. That was a fun video we did.
Yes.
What was it, like I'm hangry or something like that?
I'm hangry. Yeah, that was funny.
So it was fun to make.
I know. But anyways, I just wanted to talk. I have my notes because you know I had those of you who are part of my my Diet Buddy group know that I wanted to go Facebook Live, and of course that was a disaster because Facebook had changed everything.
Nightmare.
Oh Lord! So I was like, you know what? Forgot that. So anyways, I had all these notes, and I just kind of wanted to go through my journey and hope that it helps everybody else and some things that I've learned along the way because, you know, I've been heavy my whole life. You know, I grew up.
Excuse me.
I grew
You're
up.
in my way.
Don't make me chomp. I'm hungry. I'm on a diet. It's real. But I grew up a fat kid. I have been heavy my whole life.
You were so cute,
yeah, but I was
so
chubby, you know. I mean, I was, you know, when I was a toddler, I was, you know, regular weight. You see pictures of me as a toddler, my curly hair. But somewhere when I hit about the age of 7 or 8 is when I started putting on the weight. Now, my mother and my sister have always been thin, always. So they were always thin, but I was the fat kid. And, you know, every time we had to go shopping for clothes, you know, we would go downtown and my mom would buy her clothes at the store. My sister would get her clothes there, but I couldn't get my clothes there.
Did you go to the Husky Hideaway?
I did. No, I did not. It was not. No, it was not called the Husky Hideaway.
Do you know what that's in reference to?
Yes, that is in reference to Hairspray, the movie Hairspray. But I still cannot remember the name of the store. It was on Monroe Avenue here in Rochester, and we had to, you know, take 2 buses to get there to go to the Husky store to get my clothes.
Right. Now, those of you that don't know, Frank's mother has never driven.
Yeah, my mother doesn't drive.
They never have owned a car.
No.
Public transportation.
We were always apartment people and bus people. So we would have to make the journey to get Chubby Frank his clothes. And
do you
so,
see that Joe Fontanello says that his face is thinner?
Oh,
you can tell.
Can you tell that? Now, yes, I wanted.
Almost gone.
Oh, please. But you know, I have been on my diet for 4 weeks. I started off at 248.4 pounds, and as of this morning, I'm down to 234.4 pounds. I have lost 14 pounds in 4 weeks. Now that's quite a bit because you know what? I'm only looking to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. That's it. I'm happy. 1 to 2 pounds, that's good. Slow and steady wins the race as far as I'm concerned. But, you know.
Guys, I'm just making notes, so pay no attention
I
to me.
always kind of grew up feeling a little isolated, you know, and alone when you're the only, you know, it's the fat kid of the family. And so it kind of always made me feel like I was always on the outside looking in at the thin people. Mm-hmm. And the more I felt that way, the more I ate.
Right.
And it was a vicious cycle because I was isolated. I felt alone. We were in a neighborhood where there wasn't anyone to play with. My sister had all her girlfriends, but I had really nobody. And you know, my best friend, yeah, I know it's a cliche, but my best friend was that refrigerator. It was.
What, you didn't have any girlfriends?
I didn't. And, you know, and I remember, you know, like after dinner, like an hour after dinner, I would be back in the kitchen wanting to eat the leftovers. And I could hear my mother yelling from the living room when she heard the refrigerator door open. And she would say, "Oh my God, are you eating again?" But I couldn't help myself because food really was, it was comforting. Food was my friend. And again, I was in that vicious cycle. Now throw into the mix, okay, that as I was getting to be 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, I was growing up as a gay child. So here I am now, tween, preteen, whatever, feeling that I am a little different. And now you put that in the mix. So yeah, it definitely was a struggle. So I just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And through high school, I was just big, 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 big. I think I lost a little weight my senior year, but that wasn't a lot. And it wasn't until I went to work as a stock boy, 1975, that I think I started my diet in 1978. Yeah, so I joke and say I've been on a diet since 1978 because it's kind of true. And so I think and I was probably about 250 pounds. I lost a lot of weight, and it's funny how people are like, all of a sudden they start noticing you, and all of a sudden you're everyone's best friend, right?
What?
Everyone notices, oh my God, you look so good. Oh my God, what have you been doing? Have you lost some weight? Now the people that wouldn't talk to you before, saw you as an invisible person, are now acting like they're your best friend. And this is where I always say, and it has to do with that, and in business, remember where you came from. In business, I started as a stock boy. I ended my career before I got 6 as a regional. So always remember that. I remember growing up heavy, losing the weight. Always remember who your real friends are, the ones who are with you through thick and thin. But you know, at my lowest, you know, I told you what my lowest was, my lowest weight.
Yeah, but that was not healthy.
Yeah, my lowest weight was in 1981 when I got married. I was 163 pounds, and I had a 31-inch waist. I wish I had pictures to show you, but unfortunately the wedding pictures are still with my ex-wife. I didn't grab that album when I left. But I want to say that I look pretty awesome in my light gray tux.
You looked...
And I was 163 pounds.
Too thin, too thin.
Too
thin.
Okay, it's too thin.
You're tall.
I am. I'm 6'2".
So,
yeah.
You know, I mean, I think of it as, I know that it might irritate you, that I was always a beanpole.
I know. He had to
I was always so thin.
I know.
And so I had the same kind of thing, except...
in reverse.
In reverse. And, you know, I mean, I had a lot of friends. I've always been the social butterfly.
You lived in a house, not an apartment.
I lived in a house, not an apartment. We had a car.
His bedroom was as big as our living room.
Yeah.
My bedroom, in reality, was the closet to the bedroom my mother and sister slept in.
You love telling that
Well, it's
story.
true, because the closet was, you know, a little bit more than hanging a couple of clothes in it, and able to accommodate my little twin bed and this baby dresser. That was my bedroom. So you had to walk through their bedroom to get to my closet bedroom. But so there you go. So I lost all the weight, got married, was, you know, whatever. But you know, as you get older, and
things settle.
Things start to settle.
Gravity is not our friend.
Especially when you get married. And I want to tell this story because my sister always was upset by this. When my sister got married, you know, again, she put on weight. And I remember she told me she was mentioning it, kind of complaining to her mother-in-law and saying, you know, I put on some weight, you know, whatever. And her mother-in-law, God rest her soul, said to her, oh, honey, don't worry about it. You're as contented as a cow. The last thing my sister wanted to hear, right? You're contented as a cow.
I wouldn't want to hear that.
That's a good thing to say to somebody who's kind of worried about their weight. So how did we get here? How did I get to 248? Because that's the thing. Now we're going to talk about how I got here.
Well, I want to say before you start talking about that, because you were talking about weddings, most people are at their thinnest
right.
at their wedding.
I was.
You were not.
Well, this wedding. No, on our wedding.
You were at the heaviest.
I was at my heaviest.
Boy, you aren't kidding. Your hands are cold today.
I'm
sorry. Shocked
was,
me.
At our wedding, I was a 2XL. I had a 52-inch waist.
I married you anyways.
Because I had gained 100 pounds during my illness. So yeah, those are the. I'm sorry, but those are the wedding pictures I kind of don't want to look at.
Yeah, you know.
Well. But anyways, a month ago I was at 248, almost 250. And how did we get here? We got here because I had that weight on me from January, from the January cruise. I didn't achieve the weight loss for the group cruise that I wanted to in January, so I still had that on me. We got home, and I'm thinking that, you know, it's after the cruise. I can take a break and not start my diet right away. It was a cold weather, and you know how when it's fall and winter, I swear to God, I feel like the bear that wants to hibernate and just eat. So during the winter months, I find that, you know, you eat more. And then there's a lot of fast food going on because most of our dinners were fast food. They were Burger King, pizza, Chinese, subs, Taco Bell, or I was making big dinners, pasta,
Taco Bell.
making sauce. You know, it's like, you know, what are you making? I'm making, you know, whatever. We were eating a lot and we were eating heavy. And then it was every night, what's for dessert? Pie, cakes, donuts, ice cream, nutty buddies, or banana bread or pumpkin bread that I made. You know, we were eating constantly. You know, running upstairs, grabbing some potato chips, grabbing a Swiss roll. Right? Am I right? Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, what. And then the bottom line is just being lazy and not committed. And I'm going to say it for me. It's just being lazy. And when you talk about going on a diet and losing weight, it's not going to happen unless you're going to be real about it, right? You have to be real. You've got to hit that point where you're saying, this, no fun and games anymore. And I did. I said, I'm going to start my diet on May 3rd, and I'm going to force myself. You're going to get me on that scale. You're going to plop my butt on it, and we're going to find out.
It's about accountability.
Right. And we're going to find out how much I really weigh. And I didn't want to see it. I knew it was going to be bad. I said, oh my God, if it's close to 250, I'm going to be very upset. And it was 248.4. There's a reality check for me, because 230 goes to 240, goes to 250, like that. And yeah, I was really upset. And that's, you know, I knew my clothes were getting tighter. I had more stomach issues. More difficulty sleeping. I snore more because there's that weight on me. So my snoring is usually more. My breathing is usually difficult, right? Mm-hmm. That's at least what you tell me. It's like, oh God, go on a diet. I want to sleep at night. But I have found for me the way that I do my diet is, I have to be regimented. And I know you and my mother always say, oh, you don't have to be so regimented about everything. Oh no, I have to. I have to be regimented. And regimented.
Well, I've learned I don't even get involved.
Don't interfere.
I don't get involved. I know how I have to eat.
Right.
And you know how you have to eat.
Right.
Because I have to eat all the time.
Right. I have to be regimented. And regimented means that I have to do a weigh-in on that scale. You got to get me on that scale every Sunday morning at 6 a.m. when we get up. And there's the truth. The scale doesn't lie. There's the truth, and you're going to face it. Which means when you weigh yourself on Sunday, baby, you got another weigh-in coming the next Sunday. So you better stay on that diet. You better stay on that plan. And it was, you know, making sure that I was eating at regular times every day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There was no snacking at all during the day. There was no eating after 7 p.m. at night. And then I had a meal plan. Now, I have been dieting since 1978. I know every amount of calories for every food. and carbs. So when I talk about what I eat, people are like, oh my God, you ate that apple. Oh, you really didn't give up the carbs, did you? Yeah, I know that apple has 80 calories and 12 carbs. But the choice is I have to have my fruit. I love fruits and vegetables. And so I will have that apple, those strawberries, blueberries, and that's pretty much it. Maybe a banana, but I'm not too hot on the bananas.
I like my fruit in pie.
He likes his fruit in pie. Yeah. And so I have my cup of cereal in the morning with a couple of strawberries and a cup of coffee. I have a lean cuisine or a healthy choice for lunch. And then for dinner, I have a very, very small salad. That is it. That's it. And I know
and it works best for you
right.
to eat your larger meal,
right.
which would be your lean cuisine,
right.
midday
right.
rather than at night.
Right, right. And I'm like my mother does that. You know, I always say if you're going to eat a little heavier, you eat early, and have a light dinner. And that's what my mother does. She's 90. But it's having that plan. And as for moving, well, moving is you moving me.
Well, you move around.
Well, like when we travel, right? When we travel, it's getting in and out of the car, the car that we. What am I trying to say?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
The car service.
I'm not around, Rita.
You know, when we're getting in and out of the car, you know, you're hoisting me up, but I'm grabbing onto this and I'm grabbing onto that and I'm doing this, or I'm in the wheelchair and I'm moving and I'm going over here. You know, the pat down in the at the airport. That's a lot of moving, right? Move forward, move to the side, go over here, go there, do that. That's a lot of moving. But I try to move as much as I can, and even when I'm sitting, I do try to, you know, move as much as I can. I did so much moving that I knocked my pillow off.
Oh, so I need to go get your pillow?
No.
I need that sheet, though, sweetheart.
What?
Oh, it's on this?
No, what sheet?
No, I need the other sheet.
Do you have it?
I have it.
But I want to say a couple of things about
waffle.
Stop. About rewiring your brain. Oh, thank you. Oh, that feels so much good.
Stop moving around.
I'm sorry. I hope I lost a few pounds just doing that presentation. But you really do have to rewire your brain.
My pants are falling
down. And things like don't get discouraged after a few days or a few weeks. Remember that in the beginning, your first week or so, you're going to lose the most weight. And so by week 2 or 3, if you haven't lost as much as you did week 1, don't be discouraged because it's kind of normal. The biggest thing I want to say here, you didn't gain all the weight in a few days, so you're not going to lose all that weight in a few days. Remember that and always keep that in your head. Take your diet one day at a time. I look at this weight loss journey as one day. I did well at breakfast. I did well at lunch. I know what I'm going to eat. I know what my plan is for dinner. And then I'm done. And then we go to bed. I was successful. That was a win, you know. And I'm looking forward to my next Sunday weigh-in. So for me, my diet is only for the 1 week, from weigh-in to weigh-in. If you look at your diet of, oh, it's going to take me 6 to 10 months to lose all this weight, it's going to be overwhelming and you're going to get discouraged. And that's when people by week 3 or 4 go, forget it, I'm done, I can't stick with it. So short-term goals and successes. And that's kind of all that I wanted to say. So that's my history, that's the journey I'm on, and I hope that, and yes, you're right, Camille, I love the beef Merlot. Has anybody had the healthy choice cafe steamer, the glazed turkey and potatoes? Because I had that yesterday. It was absolutely delicious. It was really good. So that's it. That's all I want to say on Frank's weight loss challenge.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's all I'm going to say about that. And I hope that those who are on a journey are successful and maybe keep some of these things in mind. Those of you And I want to say that everybody who has some extra weight on them, if you are comfortable with what you have and who you are, then God bless you. You are far ahead of me and everybody else with a positive body image. That's what I want to say. That show, My Big Fat Fabulous Life, right? I mean, if you've got that positive body image and you weigh whatever, and it's off of the spectrum of what they consider, regular weight, God bless you. You're ahead of a lot of us. Always be comfortable with who you are. I know where I'm comfortable about 200, 210. That's where I'm comfortable. That's why I feel my best. So there you go. Words of wisdom. That's all I got.
I want to show you this real quick. Look.
Are you pushing buttons?
Yeah, look.
What? What's that?
It shows up there.
Oh, cool.
But I can't get it to show up over here.
Well, that's not good.
Like, I don't know what would happen if I did this. We're going to test. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now let me push this and go like that. See? It doesn't work. Sorry, guys. I had something cool that I thought was cool, but I can't do it anymore.
Oh, my God. He loves to push his buttons.
I do.
Better,
I do.
Better pushing those buttons than my buttons.
So let's get to a few things. So I want to say that right now there's 100 people in chat. And thank you all for coming. We see now it came up on the delayed screen, so everybody's seeing that, but they're probably like, what the hell's going on? Anyways, I want to thank Sean Greggs. It's Sean G in the chat.
He's got his wrench out.
He is a new moderator for Cruising with Wheels. So thank you for giving us a hand today. And welcome to anybody else that popped in while Frank was talking about the weight loss challenge. We had a few things go on since I've been home, like we redid our office.
Oh, right. We have a brand new office upstairs, all new desks, and a whole new kind of a bit of a redesign. It's given each of us a lot more space. Instead of the main 10 feet of desk along the main wall, we still have that, but we have, each of us has an L shape. So we have that extra extension. And
I didn't have a chance to take pictures and throw it into the system to show you guys. So we promise that next time we live stream, we'll show you that. And we'll also show you a little bit behind the scenes of what the studio looks for us. Because I know we've had a lot of requests for that. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
But so I've added another monitor. So we have like 2 computers, 2 monitors, 2 studio lights, the cameras, the microphones, it's just, we've got a ton of crap in front of us. And now I'm using today a new streaming software, and I'm able to control everything right on my phone, which the next thing that we're going to get when I start making all that kind of money back at work will be an iPad, so that I can control things a little bit easier, because this has worked out really good so far.
Instead of the clicking with the mouse.
Instead of the mouse, because the mouse is kind of a nightmare. But I do want to say that that if anybody wants to support the channel, we love getting super chats. It's not a requirement by any means. We love getting super chats. We have a PayPal. It's all in the description if you want to support the channel. If not, we're just glad that you supported us here by clicking the subscribe button and by viewing our videos. We also wanted to remind everybody that if they haven't seen, we have decided that for the summer months, while I reboot my salon business, that we're going to take a little bit of break from YouTube. It's going to be very difficult for me physically to go back to work. I'm going to add a day or 2 in, and I've got a lot of clients I have to get to.
It's a big mess out there.
And there's a lot of restrictions for us, the stylists, and the salon. We've got to do a lot of extra work, in addition to doing catch-up with everyone.
Which kind of cuts down on the number of clients you're able to see.
Right.
Because you got to key in all that cleaning right in between everybody.
Right. So what we kind of decided is we're going to do Sundays. We're going to post videos. We're also going to live stream.
Right.
So just keep your eye out. It'll be every Sunday.
You will see us every Sunday.
And we will be interacting as always on all the other social medias with you. So you just please, if you send us a question, be patient. Right. Because I handle the Twitter and the Instagram, and Frank and I split the Facebook, and the reasoning behind all that is the Twitter and the Instagram is on my phone. It's not on Frank's.
Right.
And being that it is considered a business account, or whatever they call business account, celebrity account. I don't know what they called it.
I don't know.
They called it something funny, and they said it couldn't go on multiple phones.
Well,
so anyways,
whatever.
that's why we do that.
Right. So we're going to do a live stream every other Sunday.
Yeah. Every other Sunday?
Yeah.
Every other Sunday
every other
we get
Sunday.
to spend with them.
Yes. So we have a live stream today, and next Sunday you're going to see a Frank Pushes Back, episode 24.
But wait a minute. That's the first Sunday of every month. People are so used to every.
Well, I'm telling you, this is a brand new summer schedule.
Okay.
So live stream today, Frank Pushes Back next Sunday, live stream after that, then after that, Tales from the High Seas, then another live stream.
Now, I want to encourage you all to send your ideas for videos and for topics of live streaming, right? Because very often we'll have a topic that we lightly talk about. And you can send those suggestions to cruisingwithwheels@rochester.rr.com. We also would love to get your questions, comments, pictures. And speaking of pictures, we still will be doing, why isn't it coming up?
I don't know.
Why isn't this working? So anyways, we're still going to, I can't get the graphic to come up, but we're still doing super cruiser segments. The only thing is we're not going to be putting them at the end of the video like we normally do, but they will be posted on all of our social medias and added into the Super Cruiser album with Cruising with Wheels. So send them along, and as soon as we go back to our regular schedule, we will put those on the end of.
Though we are limiting videos, you're going to see us more live.
Right. So let's get to the people.
Yeah. So,
well, I guess we should talk about I'm going back to work.
Yeah, you're going back to work.
I'm going back to work.
Good Lord.
I'm completely booked for next week already. I already started booking into the following week. My cell phone is blowing up. The shop phone is blowing up. My email box is blowing up. I want to thank all of our customers for being faithful and for waiting for us through the pause. For those that didn't see or hear, our coworker was diagnosed with a very aggressive cancer during this pause and passed away within a week. It was very quick. It was very sad.
It was a blessing.
It was a blessing. It's going to be difficult going back to work without her there, but we will be New York strong, right?
Yep.
And we will get all of you done. If any of my clients are in the room watching or they're watching during the replay, you will get a phone call from us. Please just be patient, right?
Right. It's hard to get and there are some businesses, you told me, salons and barbershops in Webster that have closed permanently.
That could not survive this pause. And so we're taking on new clients. We're just trying to work them in with our regular client flow. And we're kind of trying to do first responders first. And we're looking back at our records and seeing who was on our books the week after we stopped working and kind of seeing who we can work in that really needs, everybody really needs help. right?
I know.
And you know, it's what I'm finding is I thought it was, you know, I've been in the business for 28 years. And I always thought that it was a thing about everybody being vain. But what, in a way, but what,
a little bit.
A little bit. But what I'm really finding is it really is making everybody feel better.
Yeah, it's a psychological thing.
Right. So it's been very rewarding the past couple of days. I have to tell you, when I went to the shop just before the live stream, and I said, I'm going to take an hour and I'm going to call some people and try to get some people booked in, because it's, you know, it's Sunday, it's quiet.
Right.
And we're not open on Sundays. So I made some calls, and I was almost getting teary-eyed because the joy when people heard my voice, the joy when they got an appointment.
I'm sure they were dancing when they heard the governor initiated phase 2 at 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Friday and opened up hair salons and barbershops. Nail salons are still not open.
Right.
And I was watching Sean G was talking about beard trims. You can't do that. That is limited. They're only allowing hair salons to do haircuts, colors, perms, but nothing with the face.
Nothing with the face. There's going to be no eyebrow waxing. There's going to be no eyebrow trims. There's going to be no beard trims, no facials, no nails. Limited blow drying.
Yeah.
They're still on the fence whether or not that this blow drying is going to be an issue.
Right.
So, like with our salon, and it's very heartwarming, the people, when I call them and I say, you know, say like today, I'm not going to say their name, but I called a woman today, and she was very excited to see me, and she always has loved the way I blow out her hair, to the point where she might even come in a couple times a month just for me to blow it out. And I said, if at all possible, you know, I'll do your color, but we're trying to reserve that time, the blow drying time, for the elderly who cannot style their own hair.
Right.
And she was like, I don't care. I'll give it up for somebody else.
Yeah.
If you don't want to color me, because you want to use the extra time to do the blow dry, which is not really kind of how it works, but and P.S. I need your money for the color.
Right. I know.
So
please don't cancel a color or a highlight or a perm.
It's very overwhelming.
We need to eat. Frank needs his healthy choice meals.
It's very overwhelming to see that people care for each other.
Yeah.
And that they're willing to give up a little bit so that somebody else can have. And we've had many people that have said, look, I really need a haircut desperately, but call somebody who's a nurse, who's a doctor, who's a fireman, a police officer, somebody that's working, you know, put me on the back burner. So Frank's seen it. I got lists on top of lists on top of lists, and each list has a thing on it. So it'll be like, you know, these are my customers that have been with me for the last 28 years. I got to reach out to them first.
Right.
These are my elderly. I have to reach out to them first.
Right.
These are the people that wanted to be first that I have to reach out to be first.
Right.
This is the list of the first responders. This is the list. And it's like, well, who do you call first?
I know, because now there's only so much time in the day now.
Yep.
And it's only a one-on-one.
Right.
Each stylist can only have one client in the building, and everybody else has to wait outside and wait to be called in. And not only do you have to do your mask, but you have to also do the shield now. Mm-hmm. The state didn't require it, but the county is.
And you have to sanitize and be tested.
Right.
And every 2 weeks we have to be tested. So.
But I'm just happy, back to work. I'm now home with the puppies.
I got a nice little break yesterday, and he got a nice little break.
I did.
And we are very happy now.
Oh, my God. I can get back to a normal routine.
Right.
I got to watch my movies that I had recorded. So it's like, oh, goodbye. And I pace myself during the day, and I do a little of this, I do a little of that, do a little of this, do a little of that. And things hopefully are back to normal. So yeah, I'm glad you're going back. I'm sorry that Donna won't be joining you guys. That is sad.
We did have a nice photo printed, and it's framed on her station. We've all decided that's one of the stations that we're not using.
Yeah.
We weren't going to use it anyways, but her station is kind of retired at this point, and we have a nice floral arrangement there. And it's hard, you know, when the customers come in, because you know, for us, we have to keep it together.
Right.
And some of them are really torn up, and you know, they've been with her for 50 years, and they come in and they're in a bad place.
Right.
And you kind of got to keep it together.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, I'm kind of an emotionless tap.
Yes.
But when people are crying and are upset, I turn into Jello, and I start
Some would say you are bereft of emotion.
I can be at times. But anyways, what else should we talk about? We should talk about what went on last night in Rochester.
I want to know how everybody is, because
I mean, it happened across the country.
Right.
But
We are in Rochester, New York. We are one of 25 cities that declared a state of emergency and curfews. We, like many other cities, had the rioting. I mean, we could hear it, because where we are in the town of Irondequoit, but we are right on the border of the city of Rochester. And if you just go down our street and around the corner up to the Ridge, we call it the Ridge, it's Ridge Road East. It's a main thoroughfare that goes all the way down to Ridge Road West into the next suburb of Greece. And they were looting and rioting and burning all up and down the Ridge, and we could hear it.
Yeah, we could hear there were some explosions, and there was gunshots.
They immediately shut down the city. All the grocery stores, the Walmarts, the Targets were all closed. Police were barricading the parking lots.
Katie Whalen Ross says that Buffalo, New York was nuts too. Yeah, it was.
They mainly because they couldn't get in to the big buildings like the supermarkets and the Walmarts and the Targets. They targeted, like they kind of did everywhere else, is they hit the small strip centers. So all these little stores, like the little sneaker stores, the liquor stores, they were all looted and burned. And it was a big... You were out this morning. Now, Kevin went out this morning. He needed to see if the salon was still standing. Because, you know, a lot of beauty supply places, that's also among where they hit.
Right. And you know, the beauty supply store up on Ridge that I shop at on occasion, that's totally destroyed inside. They looted, all the hair's gone. Like, I could see there's nothing in there.
So. It was very scary. It started downtown. They were burning cars.
And you know, that's like a mile and a half from us.
It's around the corner, literally. We could hear it. And then they made their way from downtown down St. Paul, which connects right into Ridge Road, and started down, and they were hitting all the plazas. And, you know, everybody was like, oh, my Lord. And I lived through, and a lot of people don't remember the riots of the 60s. I lived through the 1964 riots. I remember what it was like on a Sunday going to church. Everybody was escorted out of our homes and being surrounded by men carrying rifles, escorted down the street. We walked to church and seeing the scenes of all that destruction and rioting and burning that went on in the 60s. And here we go. Sadly, you know, we say, you know, learn from our history and past so it doesn't repeat.
We never do.
We don't. And it seems like here we are again, 55 plus years later, and it's the same thing going on. The same inequalities, the same frustrations. And of course it reaches a boiling point and ba-boom. Now I see
Hi, Jamie.
James, you must be reading my mind.
Well, I talked to Jamie this morning. I love you guys.
I saw the pictures. They were protesting in London. They're protesting in Berlin. They're protesting around the world in solidarity with the United States.
Now, Jamie is from the UK, and so, and I always have such a hard time. I'm starting to get used to it now, Jamie, when we talk, whether it be you or Gavin or some other people that we talk to overseas. The concept of the time, right? So I think it was like 5 o'clock in the morning here when I was talking to Jamie. And I was drinking my coffee going, oh, I wonder why he's up so early. But then I'm thinking, oh, no.
It's 5 hours.
Middle of the afternoon over there.
So we'll see what happens tonight. Again, this is the first full weekend. But I have a feeling it's going to get worse before it gets. I hope by the middle of the week things calm down. But I understand that as I'm watching TV and they're saying that the governors and the mayors are like pretty much, all right, we've given you 2 days of protesting.
Well, they've extended curfew today. Did you hear that?
No.
So curfew has been extended here. Everybody has to be inside. No driving on the streets after 9. And the city won't open up. The county won't open up until 7 a.m.
So, yeah. So,
and meanwhile, I was driving on the streets at 6:30 this morning.
I know.
And he's like,
did you know they extended it? You're in violation. I hope you don't get arrested. We're still under curfew.
There is a large police presence out on the streets, which is good. It's calming.
He went grocery shopping this morning.
I did half the grocery shopping.
Yeah, because I said you got to go to Wegmans and then you got to go to Tops. He went to Tops, closed, busted out. They made a big old mess, so no Tops.
Yes, our Tops, which is pretty much around the corner, right?
Yeah.
It's like a 3-minute drive. The whole front of the store was boarded up, and all the employees were out in front, kind of like in a line. I don't think they were, at first I was like, they really think they're going to protect the building.
I know.
But I think it was more to have a presence of, we're here, but you can't come in.
Right.
Because
we're here, don't think you're coming in here. Come on now.
Well, I mean, in that section of our neighborhood, that's kind of what it's like. Yeah. It's like, don't tell me I can't go in. I'm going in.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it. They've switched with COVID.
Yeah.
You have to go in one entrance and out another, and they're like, don't you tell me which way I'm going, where I'm going. And so they actually, they have a security guard there normally. Mm-hmm. Now they have 2, and there's 1 at each entrance. And don't you think that you're going out that entrance?
All of this, thousands and thousands of people out on the streets. I shudder to think in 2 to 3 weeks if we now have created our own second wave of the virus.
I agree.
And that we're not going to come out of this. That's in the back of my mind, and I know it's in the back of a lot of people's mind.
Now, I also want to say that just to bring this back around to cruising, watch how I do this. Ready?
Okay.
So this will be a good test as far as waves are concerned. I'm thinking. Like, I'm trying to put a positive spin on it. All these people were out. All these people were protesting. And if we do not rebound, I think that that's going to be a positive thing towards cruising opening up. I know there'll be a phase 4. There'll be, like the last thing to open is going to be travel.
Yeah.
But, and I have to tell you, the last phone call I was on, I know, I just pounded it.
I know, that was mine.
You want to hit me?
No, I want to do it myself. You just stole that from me. Are you kidding?
So I was on the phone with my customer when I came back in. And again, I didn't ask her permission to tell the story, so I'm not going to use a name, but she knows who she is because I think she's in this room. Anyways, she's been my customer forever. She was my customer just out of school, okay? And we're very close in age. She's a couple years younger. I did, I'll just say I did her hair for all of her weddings.
Whoa!
Not a stab, so, but I did all of their hair for the weddings. I've done all the kids' hair. I do her mother's hair. And She was saying
Yes.
that I got her in the week before we had to shut down, and they were supposed to go to Jamaica.
Oh.
And they, at the last minute, decided not to go. And it's a good thing because her friends went the week after, and they're still in Jamaica.
No. For like 2 months?
They weren't allowed to.
Like they're trapped in Jamaica?
Yeah. Like they can't get back into the country.
Oh my God, I would like swim home. Get me out of Jamaica.
I know, right? Well, that's us, but you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it kind of is what it is. But for some people, it's like you're trapped in paradise. So what's the difference?
No, thank you.
But we don't like Jamaica. But anyways, it was just interesting. I didn't realize that there were still some people in that situation.
People are still not able to get home.
And this particular individual that didn't end up going, my customer, works for our local municipality, not a municipality, like PG&E, RG&E.
Oh, our utility
company. And so she is still working. And she would have been screwed if she was trapped and couldn't get home. Because she's considered an essential worker, and she would have lost her job.
Well, you know, I saw on the news today, which I said was going to happen, the 3-month moratorium on rentals where people are protected from paying rent. And they said in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, landlords were lined up to file eviction notices hours before the ban even ended. And they're ready to evict their people who have not been working, right?
I think
or
it's
just
BS.
Receiving, you know, the stimulus or whatever. And already they're like, yeah, I know the ban hasn't ended, but I'm in line because I'm going to evict all these people. Come on. You don't tell me that greed doesn't run this country because, you know, oh, we're all in this together. No, we have the haves and the have-nots.
Right.
And it's, you know, we have a pandemic. Now we have social unrest. And all you're thinking about is evict. Now, justly so, I understand that they have mortgages to pay.
And I can see both sides.
On that house.
But the problem that has happened with the whole thing, in my opinion, is they did the moratorium for the 3 months, and they did it for mortgages and this and that. But there was no insight into how are we all going to get back on track.
Right.
And you know, some people say the answer is the government gives us money. I don't think that's necessarily the answer, but what I think should have happened, in my opinion, I have the answers. You know, I should be the king, right? So in my opinion, what should have happened is this moratorium on rents and mortgages should have happened for the 3-month period, and everybody's mortgage, because obviously these rental people have mortgages, gets added on at the end.
Right.
3 payments added on extra. The banks are making money hand over fist.
I know, they always do. The banks are always making money. Corporations are always making money.
And then it's forgiven. You don't have to, since they didn't have to pay their mortgage, you don't have to pay rent.
But to say that everyone has been out of work and there's been a 3-month moratorium on paying your rent, and now you're back to work, and you walk into your salon, let's say the first day, and you get a call from your landlord going, well, the moratorium has ended. I expect my 3 months worth of rent tomorrow. And you're like, well, I just went back to work today. Where do you think I'm coming up with this money?
We're working it out. We're working it out.
But I'm saying for the majority of people, that's the scenario. And I'm like, how is everybody supposed to come up with all this money and you haven't worked for 3 months?
Right.
And now it's day 1 or 2, you're finally back to work. And guess what? Everyone's now knocking on your door going, you owe me.
I'll tell you.
Where's that money coming from?
I want to give a shout out to a company I was very impressed with. Okay. So we have made it happen, paying all of our bills, even though I've been out.
Right, it's been hard.
It's been difficult, but we've done it. We did not do the moratorium on our mortgage because our bank said if you do the moratorium on the 90th day, you need to come up with a plan to repay it. And it was just, for us, it would be devastating. So we said...
Didn't she tell me, I said, oh, the other banks are blah, 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 doing this and that. And her answer was, oh, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, thanks.
So, I mean, it may have evolved now,
yeah.
But King Kevin does have a ring on it. Thanks, Cheryl. I did, though, reach out to our credit card companies and request,
right.
What was it called? What were they doing?
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's where you don't have to pay your minimum payment. And every single company was like, okay, wow, that's great. You don't have to make your minimum payment, but we'll be charging you interest the whole time. And if you charge on, you still have to pay, and gave the whole thing, right? The whole shtick. And I kind of was like, yeah, I get it. The money's on there. We put it on there before or whatever.
Right.
Do you know what American Express said?
Well, oh, thank God we don't have an American Express.
Oh, I have an American Express.
You do?
The American Express is what I use for the business.
Oh, okay.
So
that's on you. I don't even know you.
Right. So
I'm sorry, who are you?
But American Express, I called them up and I said, now I don't have a huge balance on there. I have a little balance on there. Mm-hmm. And I said, it's going to be really difficult for me to pay the minimum. I've been out of work for 2.5 months. I don't know what I'm going to do, blah, blah, blah. And up until that point, we didn't ask any companies.
Right.
It was just this month because we didn't know for June. I didn't know if I was going back. And I'm going to need every single cent that I make at the shop to get supplies to keep rolling.
You can't run a salon if you don't have supplies. You need money to make money.
So American Express said to me, yeah, really. Sorry. American Express said to me, you have been a great customer and we're going to stand behind our customers, and you do not have to pay this month's minimum, and you don't have to pay next month's minimum, and you don't have to pay the following month. We'll give you 3 months, and if it keeps going on, you will do another 3 months, and we're going to put interest payments. No, you don't have to pay any interest. And we're going to give you last month's interest back.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that's going above and beyond for their customer.
Right.
So I want to say to American Express, thank you, and I give you big props. And they also said that they would increase my credit limit if need be.
Right.
I said, no, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that.
I said, thank you, but no thank you. If I do need it to get more supplies, I will reach out because they want to support small business.
Right.
They want to support everyone. And they said, if I use that charge to get supplies, I do not have to pay interest on it.
Oh, cool, cool.
Because I said, well, what if I need to, I'm in an emergency situation and I have customers and I need to get this stuff. Can I still use the charge? And they said, yes, you can. And so I just really wanted to say, we're all about supporting companies that support the little guy and support the American public. And I just wanted to say thank you and way to go.
Yeah. Now, then we have the case where the airlines all get a bailout.
I am so angry.
And American Airlines and Delta Airlines announced we are laying off 30% of our employees.
Right. And wasn't that part of the bailout that they were not supposed to?
I think the Democrats wanted it in there. There was a lot of
Can I have that?
Checks and balances that they wanted in there. I don't know if it eventually made it in there.
Sorry.
Because it has to go through the House and the Senate. But again, Vanessa, yes, it's always the big corporations that get the bailouts, while the everyday people, us, and we are taxpayers, and the bailouts that they are getting, it's our tax dollars. And they seem to always get it first, whether it's the bank bailouts, the airline bailouts, the cruise bailouts, the housing market. Everyone's getting a bailout, right?
Right.
But when you say Jane Doe over on Smith Street there, she can't live because she ain't working. Oh, wow. You want to give how much? How much a week? Huh? Oh, I don't know. Oh, yeah. They're going to be lazy. Oh, you can't give them money. Oh, that's funny. Everybody else gets it, and it's our money.
Right.
I just don't understand it. You wonder why people are angry.
Well, I should tell them the story about unemployment.
Oh, God.
I had, what?
No,
I was going to say I had
Yeah.
I had a thing with unemployment. I still have not got any unemployment. Period. Nothing was happening. I know it's happened to a lot of people. So what I ended up doing is Kevin is very persistent. I tweeted them every single day for 9 days, and on that ninth day, I tweeted them every 15 minutes until somebody called me. So finally, I get the phone call, and the lady actually chuckled about it, saying,
it's you.
I hear that you reached out. She says, you reached out to us via social media, like that. And I said, yeah, you probably heard. I've been tweeting every 15 minutes. She says, yep, but persistence got us to call you. And so I basically said to her, it's been two and a half months. I don't have any money. I have a small business. How am I supposed to open my small business with no money? And she said, that's a good point. I said, so the sooner you get me my unemployment, the sooner I won't need it, because then someone else can use it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think she got a good education on hair salons that day from you.
She did, actually.
Yeah. And you learned a lot of things, from her.
I did.
In terms of how they distribute the money.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Yeah. So, anyways,
I have no idea what that says, sweetie. But I know what that says, but I don't know what that says.
What? You can't read my
No.
writing?
This is the first time in history I have not been able to read his writing. He drew me a little picture.
Arrow.
Okay, so what is you got?
Well, I don't know because they're just going by here.
We'll get off our soapbox now.
Yeah, we'll get off our soapbox here. But I wanted to, good to see you. Good to see you has been asking me about what my favorite Healthy Choice entrees were. And,
do you have them listed out?
Well, I only selected 8 of them, and it's the Healthy Choice Cafe Steamers. And I selected 8, and it's based on calorie and carb count. And of course, price.
Now, the big question is going to be...
The Cafe Steamers are $2.69.
So the big question is going to be that people have been asking me, that I haven't passed on to you yet, is have you been looking at the sodium contents?
I have been.
Is that going to be part of
It is, because when somebody said, because I had the Healthy Choice, the margarita chicken. It's very different. I liked it. It's kind of lightweight. And somebody said, oh, you should try the Atkins margarita chicken. And so I went on the Wegmans site and I popped it up. It has twice the sodium count. Yeah, like Healthy Choice, let's say, is 600 grams of sodium. Theirs was like almost 1,000. So sodium on the Atkins seems to be much higher than health. So I'm looking at lean cuisine, I'm looking at Healthy Choice, and I'm trying to get a balance of price, calorie, carb, and sodium, as well as, obviously taste. And I'm buying the Cafe Steamers. That's it, $2.69. I'm not spending $2.99 or $3.99 on the other Healthy Choices, so I have to stick with my budget. But so far, the margarita chicken I liked. Yesterday's glazed turkey with potatoes was awesome.
I have to tell you that Donna, Lisi, and I stood there for 20 minutes this morning looking for honey glazed chicken. Because that's what you wrote down, honey.
Oh, it was turkey.
And it's turkey.
Turkey, right.
So he gives me a list, a grocery list, and it's very specific. So if it says chicken, I better come home with chicken. But they don't make chicken.
Because everything I usually eat is chicken.
But I thought it was turkey.
Yeah.
So God love Donna. she picks up the thing and she goes, no, this is turkey. And she puts it down. And she goes to someone else. And she says, I said, no, get the turkey. She says, the list says chicken.
I've even got her brain.
I said,
she's afraid.
We can get the turkey. I know it's turkey. She goes, no, you better call him. I go, I'm not calling him, Donna.
Oh, my God. Okay, so what else is happening in the room? Oh, my God.
Rick Theodo is being an instigator, a shenanigator. Go back down. Lynn,
what did he say?
Lynn came in, and Lynn said, hi, everyone. Late to the party, but I had to help a friend move. You're a very nice friend.
Very nice, Lynn.
Did I miss anything exciting? And Rick responded and said, yeah, there was a surprise giveaway. We all received a free cruise. LOL, just kidding. That's funny.
Oh, my God. She would have been like, what?
I know, really. Now, there was a question in the chat earlier, and I wrote it down, and we went all rogue. But Random Cruiser, if you're still in the room, he was asking about the group cruise and if there is a deadline to book that. No, there is not a deadline to book it. However,
the deadline has passed for the reduced deposit.
The reduced deposits. I do not know if they continued it. I didn't do the research before because, again, I am so sorry that I've been extremely busy over the past week trying to prepare for this, I guess, grand reopening of my salon. But NCL may have extended reduced deposits.
Yeah, because, again, the longer the shutdown continues, maybe they will. So we'll have to find out from Karen. Because originally on our site, it says the deadline was May 28th for the reduced deposit for the 2-for-1 for our group cruise.
So it's very confusing because they didn't stipulate that it was only for the reduced deposits. Yeah. A lot of people are thinking they only had until that time.
Right, to book it all.
You can book up until the day before we leave.
Exactly, and that's why I said to you, we need to call Karen, and if that indeed is the deadline for the that little blurb needs to be removed. I said from the get-go, people are going to look at that and say, oh, if I don't book by May 28th, I can't go on the group cruise, and that's not true.
Right.
You can book all the way up until pretty much we leave.
The thing, May 28th was the deadline for the reduced deposits, and it also was the deadline for the locked-in rate.
Right.
The rate, may go up, it may go down, it may fluctuate. It usually does, but you'll get all the same perks.
Right. The perks won't change.
Perks will not change. Everybody will get that extra $100. We've had a few people book since last week.
Well, I wrote it down. We're up to.
Well, we won't really know because we don't know.
Well, as of the last report, we were up to about 20 cabins, about 35 people.
Right.
But we haven't had a report from Karen in like 2 weeks.
Right.
It seems, right?
Right.
So we'll see.
I'm going to be reaching out to Karen on Monday.
I'm hoping that across the country.
Opening? Did you say opening?
I'm hoping. I'm really hoping we get an opening.
I mean, I could have just heard it as opening.
It probably sounds. I think I'm rhyming today. I'm hoping that as the country gets back open, that and everyone gets back to work and things go to some normalcy, and there's hopefully a sense of relief and things go well, that people will start booking. I know everyone's thinking about cruising, and that 2021 is like they've seen such an onslaught.
Jason Lott said that he just looked at NCL and they have the 2-for-1 that's good for 7 more hours.
Ooh, okay.
But NCL always
there's always a grace period.
Yeah, it always seems to extend though.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
Because we're like, oh my God, we have to have this by such and such, and then you call them and they're like, oh well, a couple more days. So yeah, today's the 31st. It's the last day of May, so they're probably finishing up the month. Right. They say the 28th, but
I bet
they're good for grace period days.
I bet you though, with what's going on in the current environment
Yeah.
that that you're going to see tomorrow when you go online. Extended.
Yeah.
They just need to change the graphic.
Exactly. So let's hope so. Because that's nice that people would be able to do a 2-for-1. And again, it's what, 14 months away?
Right.
Yeah, it's 14 months away.
Now I gotta start getting hammering away at paying towards the carnival, Mardi Gras.
I know.
It reminded me because the pen that we have today is
brought to you by.
I don't know. I can't. I was gonna put it up to the webcam. That's not gonna work. It's brought to you by Carnival
Cruise Lines.
So this was. Well, I think we got this pen in like 2013.
Could be.
I think this was from the Carnival Victory.
Wow. Oh, gosh.
He probably got fired because we stole it from the cabin.
I know. Don't say that. Fun for all and all for fun.
Bye, Rick. Thank you for stopping.
Okay. What else is happening in the room?
I don't know. You were chatting away so long.
We were busy talking.
Joe Fontanello was asking about toilet paper.
I saw toilet paper. Well, that was a great savings, but what did they give you? Toilet paper?
I think he was talking about American Express. And Cheryl Croft said that that's why she's remained with American Express for so many years, is they're such a good company to work with.
Yeah. Now Cheryl was asking about the pecan cookies. I think it was Cheryl, because Cheryl gave me the recipe. Now, I still been, baking.
Better.
I made chocolate chip cookies for him. I made peanut butter cookies for him.
And there's still some in the freezer,
yes,
isn't there?
There is.
Well, they need to come out.
Was it yesterday? I made more banana bread. There were 3 bananas. And I'm like, nobody wants to throw them in the trash. They were ripe. So I go on and I Google 3 banana bread. And boop, there we go. We have banana bread.
Now, Sean Greggs wants to know about staff on cruises. He wants to know if we think that they're going to have less staff on the cruise ship based on less people. And for me, if I was a betting man, I would say that they would keep the same amount of staff that they have currently, but reduce the number of people cruising on the ship.
Well, there's going to be a lot more cleaning required.
There's going to be a lot more based on my knowledge of what I have to do to my salon right now.
Right.
I mean, they're going to have to keep, it's going to be all hands on deck.
Yeah.
All hands on deck, right? That's what you looking at?
Yeah.
What you looking at?
I'm not looking
Willis?
at anything.
So that's what I think. What do you think?
Well, originally the statement was that we're going to reduce capacity of guests so that we may better serve you, blah, blah, blah. Well, they didn't really say anything about reducing staff.
Right.
They just said we're reducing the guests so that we could provide better service. So,
and also they are required by maritime law to have a certain number of crew members aboard for safety, to make sure that people would be able to man all the lifeboats, to make sure that the vessel is running correctly, right? I mean, we don't know as cruisers what's going on down there, right? I mean, really, we
only know through Titanic.
And we
and Poseidon.
Like I've been privy to it when we're in port and we don't get off the ship, where I've kind of snooped around and stuff.
Are they really down there with shovels and coal?
No, but perfect example, when we were in the first time we were in Tortola, when we actually docked.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They actually were overhauling the engine.
Oh, wow.
While we were one of the engines while we were docked. So they knew when we pulled in, we need to start this at 8 o'clock or 1 o'clock because we're getting there at 1, and we have to be done by 7. If we're not done, we're screwed.
Yeah.
So
that's a problem if you have an engine.
Yeah.
Now.
So there's always maintenance going on. There's always, something always needs to be painted on a ship.
Oh gosh, they're always painting and doing that kind of maintenance wherever they dock, always. Yeah, Antoine Lyons, the big question everyone is asking is about the buffets.
I think, so his question is, do you think that the buffet style concept that they have in the Garden Cafe will be taken away? And it's interesting to see the cruise lines evolving on this. I believe it's Royal Caribbean.
They made an announcement.
That they're not going to be doing the buffets.
I read an article a week later, and everybody, if you heard this as well, did Royal Caribbean backtrack on that no buffet? Because I thought they did.
Either way, I think you're going to see the cruise lines evolving with how they're going to be doing the buffet.
It'll be modified.
I think everything will be modified. I think that they're probably going to A, limit capacity in the buffet, B, that the staff will be serving you. You will not be allowed to serve yourself in the buffet. And I think C, some of the cruise lines might just say, like Royal announced,
do you think that everything...
we're going to do away with it just because it's too much of a hassle.
Right.
And too much of a powder keg.
Can you see everything really behind, everything 100% behind plexi, and you just say, I want some of that, and again, they serve it to you. You can't even breathe on it. It's all plexied. It's all covered.
But it's logistically, I think it's going to be very difficult because you've got all these different stations.
Right. And see, Jason Lott said, yes, Royal Caribbean did retract that. I thought they did. Yeah. About a week later, they were like, well, yeah, did back to, thank you, Vanessa.
He said that they'll be serving you.
Yeah.
I know 100% you will be served.
Everybody knows how huge the buffet areas are on a ship. There is no way that area would not be used. They have to modify it and use it in some way, shape, or form. And if that means total overhaul of coverage, and you just take your plate and do this, and they're all serving with their gloves on and they whatever, and you don't, because usually it's semi-covered, right, and it's open and you get to go in there, whatever. I think that'll be gone. I really do. I think it'll be 100% closed off to us.
Kristen Askew wants to know if we've ever seen the Undercover Boss episode of Norwegian Cruise Lines, and that it's interesting.
Yes.
We actually have. It was with our friend Kevin O'Sheen.
Kevin O'Sheen, yes.
And there were a couple of staff members, crew members, that we knew that were in that episode. It was pretty neat to see that. And we've seen some of that behind the scenes stuff before we even saw that episode. But there was so much cool stuff in there that we had never seen. Like, we never had seen the escalator.
You're right.
And things like that. It was, I don't know if it's online someplace that people could find it, but if they haven't seen it, they should check it out. And the other thing that I used to love was Mighty Ships. Maybe we should do that.
Loves Mighty Ships.
I love Mighty Ships. They show all that behind the scenes junk. So, yeah.
So what else is happening?
What's happening?
Yeah. Oh, I have, Lynn Bilodeau says, I've been watching The Cruise on YouTube.
Now, what's The Cruise?
What's The Cruise?
Zara Ramos says, do you think they will get rid of some chairs on the pool deck?
For a little distancing? Yeah, because, they're like, what, a couple of inches apart?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this is what I've said all along with the ships getting bigger and bigger, because the ships have been getting bigger and bigger, but the pool decks have been getting smaller and smaller. So I think if they get rid of pool deck chairs, people are going to be pissed. Don't you think?
Well, they're already
pissed.
With getting deck chairs at the pool.
Right.
But again, it's a different world.
I know.
It really is. This is not business as usual. And people that think it is are kidding themselves. They really are. This whole, there is no virus. There is no pandemic. This is all a hoax. It's pure and utter nonsense. It's pure, and you know, it's nonsense. I mean, I don't know where people are getting this crap.
I know.
Get to a hospital. Anybody who thinks this is fake and a hoax, get to your nearest hospital and see what COVID patients go through just to survive and what the doctors and nurses have to do to keep them alive. I dare anyone get to a hospital.
My sister's a nurse at one of our local hospitals. It's been very taxing for her emotionally and physically, and it is real.
Yeah, it is.
It is real.
It's like being on the front lines in a MASH unit
right.
During a war, and everybody around you is, every 20 minutes someone is dying, and there's nothing you can do. You're doing your best, and it's just not good enough.
Right.
It just isn't.
Excuse me. Tom Y says, how do they plan to maintain social distancing in the elevators and deck corridors? We don't know.
I mean, you all know what those elevators are like. Man, those doors open and everybody is rushing. How do you control that?
Well, and this just goes back to my angst with the elevators. Because if you're able-bodied, you should be taking the stairs. You're eating all that food.
Right.
And then you come home and you complain that you gained 10 pounds on your cruise.
I know. I do complain.
If you just took the stairs,
yeah,
I think Frank will take the stairs.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. I wish.
I think actually we'll see more people taking the stairs once cruising starts again.
Yeah,
because
I think they won't want to be in an elevator packed like sardines. So maybe that will fulfill itself.
Right. I think it'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. There are so many of these things that, as you say, you all say, inquiring minds want to know. And we have all been asking the same thing.
We've all been asking.
The elevators, the deck chairs, the buffets. We know. We've been all on cruises. We know what tight quarters it can be.
I totally agree with you, Lynn. Where they should make the handicapped and elderly only elevator. And I assume what you're saying is that one elevator should be designated for handicapped and elderly. Except the problem then becomes is how do you quantify who's handicapped and how do you quantify who's elderly?
Right. Is 65 elderly or is it 66? Is it 70? Is it 75? Is it a heart condition that nobody can see?
Right.
Is it someone in a wheelchair that you can see?
Right.
What constitutes, what is the proof?
Well, even me with my leg.
With your leg, right. People say, oh my God, why are you parking here in the handicap? You don't belong here, but they can't see through your pants to know about your leg issue.
Well, aren't they lucky?
I told you the next time somebody goes, you piece of crap in parking, I said, unzip your pants and say, you want to see it, and drop your trousers. I said to them, okay, fine. You should say to them, you want me to take my leg off? I'll take my leg off and then see what they say.
I said that once. And they were like, oh, sorry, dude, sorry.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, shut your effing mouth.
Yeah, because, not every handicap is seen.
Right.
Not everyone is in a wheelchair or a scooter or has a walker or a cane. There's, things, under your pants, things that are within your body or whatever. So, yeah.
So it becomes difficult to quantify that into, I mean, I don't know. I like the concept. I like the idea. And
we're all over that.
What I said is with the technology we have today, it is very, very simple and very, very easy for NCL in particular, okay? And I've said this to the higher ups, that if you can give a key card access, if you give that little card to the Haven people and program it, because they're in the Haven, that they only use that elevator and they get priority access with that elevator. Why can't you key code access every handicapped room, right? Every handicapped cabin. I mean, there's maybe 3,000 cabins, 2,000 cabins on a ship, right? And 10 of them, 20 of them are Haven. You can do the 100 handicap,
Right.
And they could be in one elevator and the Haven's in the other.
Right. And then Sean G just said on our group cruise, there was a dedicated elevator for that one group cruise that was booked that took over the bistro for the week.
Right.
They got a dedicated elevator.
Yeah, I'm still reeling over that. But I don't know. Hence, I don't want to go back to that.
Hold on. Let me do a little advertising. Hence, next Sunday's episode of Frank Pushes Back, episode 24, No French for You.
You're crazy.
Be on the lookout. June 7th, coming at 7 a.m.
Zero Ramos said that muster might become virtual.
Yeah, that's the other thing we've been wondering about.
I think that is a good idea in concept. However, you will have no way to know if the people actually watched it.
Right.
And that is where the problem of doing virtual a muster drill becomes. But I think, this is what I think is going to happen, is that I could see where it's implemented where you go in, you do your, like we stand in line. Hi, I'm here to check in for the cruise. Here are my documents. Okay, now you need to step to the side and watch the video.
Something.
And so they would do like a continual loop.
I know, because something...
Before you even board.
Yeah, again,
it's gotta change.
This is a new world.
Right.
And I know there's maritime law, but again, this is a whole new thing. So things have to change. And you can't say, well, law says this and that, and so it's like, no, law has to change, this has to change, that has to change. It's a whole new world now.
A whole new world.
Oh, so yeah, all these things people are dying to know.
I love that song. What's that from? I Can Open Your Eyes.
I have no idea. What do I know? Some Disney thing.
It's Disney. I can't remember what it's from.
As far as I know.
Does anybody know what that's from? I can open your eyes. Something, something, something wonder.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways,
under, I didn't want to do a plug.
On my magic carpet ride.
I didn't want to do a plug for Frank Pushes Back for next Sunday.
It's from Aladdin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thanks, Sean. It's from Aladdin, yep. Keith Child said, have a terminal in each room that you have to swipe your card in after watching muster drill, perhaps.
That would be a good idea. The swipe in to start, and the way they know you see it is hopefully you watch it and you swipe out.
But then it becomes a hopefully you watch it.
Did you not go to the bathroom and take a shower?
Because I am going to be honest with all of you. We are brutally honest with everything. I will tell you honestly right now, if they had it in the room, I swipe my card to watch the muster drill and then have to swipe at the end, I would swipe the card, I'd start unpacking, and when it was over, I'd swipe it again. I mean, we've sat through dozens of muster drills. I could do the muster drill for you right now live.
Or maybe it's like a teaching learning module like at work where you
have to interact.
Yes, where you actually have
to you could do it with smartphones.
Go through it and then either answer a question or acknowledge, and it forces you to be there. And you can't just walk away for 15 minutes, but you actually have to be there and go, oh, okay. Oh, now I have to do this. Okay, it's going to the next module. Okay, because they have to, now I have, so maybe there has to be a way to keep you there if that's how they're doing it.
Right.
And that's how it was at work.
And Foxy Hawk suggests that they make it part of the emailed requirements of registration process, which is also a good idea. These are all great suggestions that I am actually going to bring forth to the cruise lines. If you don't mind, I'll email them, and we have a working relationship with pretty much all of them at this point.
So yeah, it's like everybody wants to know, what are all you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people want to know before they hop on a boat. I mean, we're all desperate to get on a ship. But...
And for me, I think I am not so worried about being on the cruise ship after this. I mean, they're going to have someone reached out and asked, are we worried and concerned about the ships being dirty and having the virus and whatever on the ship? And I said, absolutely not. My concern would be flying with the circulated air.
Right.
But even the airlines, they're doing a phenomenal job of sanitization.
Yeah, you know, their 5-minute cleaning is no more.
They got lots of time.
They got lots of time now to clean in between. So, yeah.
I am a little concerned with airlines that they're not doing social distancing. They are packing them in, and I think it would behoove them to only do every other seat and every other row.
There was an airline, and somebody in the group, I know you probably saw it, so tell me which airline it was, that their social distancing was if you didn't want to sit next to someone, you had to pay for your seat and the empty middle seat. And they made that announcement, and they got a huge backlash. And they rescinded it and backtracked. It was like, what? In other words, I have to pay to keep myself safe on your plane because you don't want to institute policies because you're so greedy. Not only did you get the bailout.
I spy with my little eye a Gavin from the UK. I hear that Gavin needs his haircut. Gavin, Jamie's willing to cut your hair.
But you know, time will tell. We're not going on our cruise to the end of February. So that is June, July, August, September,
maybe we'll
October,
be the
November,
guinea
December,
pigs
January.
for all you people.
So, you know, we were talking 9 months till then, and then 14 months.
It's 9 months.
Till February.
9 months?
Yeah.
9 months.
Yeah.
I could have a baby by then.
You could.
9 months.
Thank you, Denise. Denise Bibu, Frontier Airlines. Yes. They wanted you to pay for the empty seat.
Well, you know what? I hate Frontier Airlines.
You do.
I detest them. They are the nickel and dime.
Is that one your mother takes?
Frontier and Spirit.
Oh, Spirit. Your mother takes Spirit, yeah.
I swear to God, I felt like they were going to say to me, make sure that your mother has a couple quarters to use the toilet when she's on the plane.
Like,
I mean, it was like...
I've got to spend a penny. I'm not here on Spirit. That's a quarter. Where are we at?
Why are you looking? Why you keep looking over my shoulder, boy?
I don't believe that.
Well, see, now it's on that.
Oh,
it fluctuates. This is real time.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's
fake time.
This is delayed time. So see now here.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch. That's gonna jump.
Ooh, that's nice.
You'll see. You'll see. I'm showing him all the little things.
Not that I care. Not that I'll even ever remember.
You're not gonna remember. What's the matter? What's the matter, baby?
Spirit is pretty. Spirit is pretty bad, Sean. It is. Ugh.
I know Jamie wants to get his little paws on Gavin's head.
Yeah.
Give him a little.
Run, Gavin, run!
No, I say let him do it. Think of all the money he could save on haircuts. Think of all the money I save you.
I know. I got a haircut yesterday morning. Hi, Lori. Lori DeShiel.
Hi, Lori. Well, what took you so long to say hello?
Maybe she did not want to interrupt our soapbox
I know.
moments of whatever we're talking about.
The pillow still there?
Is that pillow? Yes, the pillow is still there, supporting my back.
Well, I'm glad to see that everybody in the chat is agreeing with our synopsis of Spirit Air sucking.
And Frontier.
Karen Carter says that she only likes Southwest. We love
Southwest. Yes.
You know, we like Delta. We're
very disappointed and upset with Delta right now.
I am.
You have a customer who works for Delta. We won't say who it is, but, you know, you have someone. And,
oh, my gosh. She was so happy.
And they...
she was one of the first people today that got me teary-eyed.
Oh.
Because she was so ecstatic when I called.
Yeah.
And then followed by, Oh, I threw a little color in.
Oh my God, I know. Tiff M in the room said she was like, oh, I was thinking of doing a box. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
You're going to drive your hairdresser crazy when they're going to have to fix what you've done.
So, anybody that is in the sound of my voice, that is a woman or a man that is thinking about coloring their own hair during this, please wait for your hairdresser to do it if you don't do it yourself right now, right? Because what happens is you put that box color on. If you screw up your color, then things that are going to be happening is, one, you're going to have to pay 2 or 3 times as much for us to fix it. 2, you will be moved to the back of the line because it is going to take a long time, a long appointment. And right now, like I said, most of us are doing our first responders, our elderly, our people that are working right now to try to catch up. And anybody that's going to need services like corrective color or creative color, so like people that just want to have fun pink highlights put in, or crazy purple hair, all those people are going to have to wait until we all are caught up.
Now, Lori said Lori, you said you're booked on a group cruise on the Carnival Breeze with another YouTube channel, and it's October 24th. You're a little nervous. Yeah, I'd be a little nervous too. Who is it? Who are you going with?
Is that Sharon?
Is it Sharon's group?
I'm not sure who's in October.
Yeah.
I know Sharon has one coming up.
Oh, Karen Carter was also with that one, but she canceled. Yeah, I know Carnival Breeze sounds very familiar with one of the groups, and I don't remember who it was.
Oh, they're gonna miss out on the barbecue.
I know. Oh, who was it, Lori?
I would be very nervous about October.
Yeah, I kind of would be nervous about October as well.
But you know, I'm watching our state open up.
Sharon at Sea. Yeah, I thought that sounded familiar.
I thought it was Sharon and Jamie. And I think isn't somebody else going with them?
I thought so,
Maybe Favor?
Yes, yeah, there was a combo, I think. Yeah, it might be.
Maybe.
Yeah, it might be.
So
Okay, Keith Childs is off. You take care, Keith. Stay safe.
Take care, Chow.
I want to say where Sherry Blair said, I just got my flight refunds today after requesting them on April 15th.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of people. Just go to Facebook and the rooms.
And I'm sorry, again, they got their bailout money.
I know.
Why aren't they paying people their refunds?
I know. It just really is irritating me.
Just makes me so mad. And don't you think that we're watching all of this and we're taking notes?
Yeah, in this day and age in the technology, just as fast as we gave it to you is as fast as you can give it back to us. And you're not. You're holding on to it because you're greedy. Hold on. You're greedy little pigs.
You're so silly.
Well, it's true. They're greedy little oinkers.
Tom said he's wondering about their booking on the NCL Encore for New York to Bermuda at the end of October. I would be very, very concerned because I don't foresee them opening up cruising out of New York until like January.
Yeah, the new year.
That's what my feeling is, my gut feeling. Okay, so I have this gut feeling about things, right?
Right.
I always have these gut feelings, and 9 times out of 10 are my gut right. Is my gut right?
Pretty much.
Like I said, watch. We shut down on the 21st. We're not going back until June 1st.
Yeah.
When did we start?
Yeah, pretty
June
much.
1st.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Now, New York City Phase 1 limited opening is June 8th. Again, that's only Phase 1 limited.
Right.
So now they got to get through that, and you got to go into Phase 2, Phase 3, Phase whatever, let alone get into opening up massive cruise port terminals.
And mass transit.
And all of that.
So I would be very leery, but I I wouldn't say cancel just yet, because from what I understand, people are...
You wait for them to cancel, and you get the benefits that they're going to give you when they cancel on you.
Tom, we have a group cruise going out of New York.
We do.
Going to Bermuda.
That's right. We are going to Bermuda.
So August, if you can go in August 1st of 2021, we have a group cruise. We can give you the information if you're interested.
Joy, which is like the sister ship of the Encore.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, we already have some group cruisers that got canceled from other cruises that use their credits towards
our cruise.
The group cruise. So that is a possibility.
We are all hoping that in 9 months...
You said it again.
Hoping. Oh, dear. We are hoping for the opening of the cruise season. That we're hoping that 9 months for our Carnival, Mardi Gras, and our 14 months for the next group cruise on the Joy, that there'll be good news about vaccines.
La Luna Loca. La Luna Loca is the other...
and hopefully this whole thing will be behind us. So many pharmaceutical companies around the world are working on vaccines. Some are closer than others.
Right.
There are already human trials going on. But again, just because they develop a vaccine doesn't mean the vaccine's going to work. There are so many things that are developed that end up not working at all.
Right.
So thankfully, everyone's working on it. And I hope this isn't going to be something that it's just going to be around and we're never going to get rid of.
Ken Preston, it is not, it's not BOGO, buy one, get one free price. It's buy one, get one deposit. So it's like half deposit.
Right. In other words, normally it's $500 each. They're doing a $250 each,
for
so
the
$500, and now they're just doing
$250 for the couple.
Oh, what it ends up being.
Right.
No, I'm saying normally it's
$500.
Thank you, but now it's...
Yes, but the way you were explaining it, when my brain, it sounds like...
See, that's why I'm not talking to you.
But you're looking at me. You were looking at me.
Because I'm trying to get you into how I think.
No. But you think confusing, because the way you say it is this, normally it's $250. Normally it's $500. And then...
You didn't let me finish the sentence. As in per this or a couple. You didn't let me finish. So you really didn't know what I was going to say before you interrupted me. Thank you. You know what that means. Thank you.
Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day.
I need to start practicing my golf swing for Bermuda, Laura says. Laura, you're bringing your golf clubs?
Oh, my God. Oh, they got great golfing in Bermuda,
maybe
right?
I should practice.
You play golf?
I play with my father once or twice.
Oh, wow. Damn. I didn't know that. I hear there's great golfing in Bermuda.
The best part about golfing is getting the cart and having them bring the drinks to you.
The cart and the drinks. That's all you're thinking about.
Tom says that they saved our email for the group cruise. It seems cruising during the non-flu season may be the way to go, though they charge more than the fall sailings. And that's true.
Right. Now somebody, I forgot who it was.
We chose, we'll just tell them why we chose when we chose. Because we made a promise. We said we sailed during winter for the first group cruise. The next group cruise we were going to sail in the summer months, which is very unusual for us.
Right.
Normally we do not sail in summer months.
We don't go hot home to hot vacation.
Right. We want
cold home
to hot.
Give me to a warm beach.
But we made a promise that our next group cruise, for the availability of our teachers and
children who wanted to,
that
so they would still be out of school. And so, so we did that. But we had an email from someone, and I don't remember who it was, and they said, you know, you go on all these cruises and you travel. How is it you never get sick? And you and I
get sick all the time.
And you and I looked at each other and went, we get sick on every cruise.
Right.
We're always... We're like, why do they think we're never sick? We get sick on every cruise. Sometimes you get sick when the cruise starts, and you're sick during the whole cruise, or you get sick in the middle of the cruise, or you get sick on the last day, and then I usually follow you, and I get sick when we get home, and then we're usually sick for about a month. But we always do. We always get sick when we cruise. We do. We're not immune.
Did you see what Lori said?
No, I can't see.
What do you mean you can't see?
Well, you're pointing, so...
Lori Deschelle is asking, she says she has a hair question.
Oh, hair question. Okay.
For her dear friend. She says, my 14-year-old daughter is biracial and has loose, curly hair, not kinky, mid-length, but so dry. What do you suggest you use to condition? So I am going to tell you what I tell all my clients, and they all look at me like I am crazy insane, but then they love me when they're done with it.
Are you listening?
So listen up. Sally's Beauty Supply.
Yes.
They're everywhere.
Yes, they are.
They have a conditioner that comes in a tube, you know, like it's round at the bottom and then it goes like that. You know, like those tubes, right? And it'll say one of three things. It will say L'Oreal Preference or L'Oreal Excellence, or it will say L'Oreal Feria for men.
And this is
for men.
Conditioner.
And it's conditioner.
Okay.
Now, the tube is like $6. And no matter what it says on the outside, it's the same conditioner on the inside. Because some of the stores will only sell one or the other. What it is L'Oreal, when they make their box colors, you know, those little tubes that you get, it's that conditioner.
Oh, okay.
That conditioner is like crack for your hair. It's awesome. And so they bottle it with whatever bottles they have. And they're substantial size squeeze bottles.
Yeah, they're large tubes.
Large tubes.
Yeah.
And so I would say go there, get one, $6, you know, between, I'll say $5 to $7, because it's going to depend on your area that you live in. And put it in your hair, put a plastic cap. So when you're at Sally's, get a plastic cap, stick it on your head, leave it on for half an hour. You do that once a week until it's not super dry anymore, and condition. And if you find that the opposite, so she has oily hair, you use Dawn dish soap.
You hear that, everybody out there? Oily hair, use Dawn dish soap.
But if your hair is colored,
ooh,
you better not be using that Dawn dish soap unless you box dyed it right now, right, during COVID, and it's too dark. Use that Dawn dish soap. It'll strip some of that color out. It'll make it lighter.
Oh, so you're like, oh my God, I hate this color. It's too dark.
Right.
Is it okay? You're like, oh, I don't know. Here, have some Dawn dish soap.
Dawn dish soap. But I would say to do it for the dryness, for your friend, do that treatment once a week. It's not going to hurt it to leave it on even longer. So if she's sitting there watching TV and she forgets to rinse it out, wash it out or whatever, not going to hurt it. And I would say do it once a week for a month and then see what it's like. You know, see if the hair is getting better. That's how I would start.
Wow. There you go. There you have it.
Then I have all these other little tricks you can do, but I don't want to tell you to go that route. That's the easiest route. So you come back in a month, in 2 weeks. Come back in 2 weeks and let me know how her hair is doing.
That's right, because we will be here.
And then we'll see, you know.
We'll be here in another live stream on June 14th, and we want to know. Everyone here is going to want to know about her hair.
So we want to remind everybody that if they ever have any questions or ideas for videos, you can simply email us. Where are they going to email us? Nobody saw me do that. I just elbowed him because he wasn't paying attention.
You can email us at cruisingwithwheels@rochester.rr.com.
Right. And I see that somebody up. I don't know why it did that. I just saw a question in the chat that somebody was asking about.
Tiff M wants to know, what is that purple shampoo everyone is talking about?
Saying. Purple shampoo is Shimmering Lights is the brand name. It is made by Clairol. You can get it in generic versions as well, and you can also get it in very expensive versions like, you know, Paul Mitchell has a version. But anyways, they're all purple based. And purple will get rid of orange. That's the opposite on the color wheel. So if you have highlights or you have colored your hair and it's brassy, or you've been out in the sun and it gets brassy, you can use the purple shampoo, and it will take out some of the, it will neutralize some of the brassiness.
Oh my God. Oh, you people with hair got problems.
But it is not a fix-all, right? And also, people that have gray hair, that they have yellowing to it, they use the Shimmering Lights, and it will take all that yellow out. The problem is if you overuse the purple shampoo, then your hair will begin to start turning purple. So if you are a light blonde, or you have the light blonde highlights, or you have white hair or gray hair that is yellowed and you're overusing the shampoo, then you start to turn purple. So the rules for that are you use the purple shampoo every other day until you get the yellow out and the brassiness out that you're trying to get rid of. And that should only take a week and a half. And then from there on, you only use that purple shampoo once a week. And only a little bit.
Nice. Then you won't end up being like the blueberry girl on Willy Wonka.
Right. What people's hair actually turns lavender from it. And I remember back in the day when I first started that was the big thing. All the older women would come in and they would want rinses.
Yes.
And there was the blue rinse, and that was called.
My grandmother used to have
Your grandmother used to have the blue rinse?
Yes.
That was called Blue Haze. Then there was Lazy Lilac. That was the lilac-y purple color. There was Bashful Blonde, and that was the pink color. And there was one that was like a peach color that was like Easter egg, I think it was called.
Jeez.
They had all these weird names.
Bizarre.
Lucky Copper, that was a red one.
Sean G wants to know, after all this, do I get 1 credit for hair salon school today?
I sure do. You sure do.
we had nutrition class earlier, followed by
politics, right?
Yeah, right. From social sciences, followed by hair salon school.
That's crazy.
Oh my goodness. All righty, we are approaching 5 p.m. here Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to have to get out of here. I have to go take care of the puppies, and you are going to head back to the salon.
Yes, I'm going to head back to the salon and reach out to some more customers. And it's very overwhelming, and I've decided that I'm going to be booking 1 week at a time, just so that I can
be ahead.
Okay,
right.
Okay. And I don't want to get too far ahead,
right,
because they might say in 2 weeks, sorry, can't do any more.
Don't see that.
I know.
Marla and Annette.
Hey.
Glad to see you.
It's so good to see all of you.
Oh, boy. All right, we're going to sign off now. We are glad that you joined us. Happy to see all of you today. You can watch next Sunday episode of Frank Pushes Back, number 24, No French for You.
No, and then have to go, Frank pushes back. Except I don't have I can't do it on here.
And then we'll be back live again here on YouTube on the 14th of June at 3 o'clock.
You never know, though. Maybe we'll do
something exciting happen.
Right. Maybe we'll...
Some emergency live stream. I don't know.
I know. What if they announce cruising is back? What if we win the lottery?
Oh my God.
If we win the lottery, I am going to hire a crew and they can do all this stuff for me. And I will be the king boss going, you need to edit it this way and you need to do it that way.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Bye, everybody.
So
we'll see you in 2 weeks.
But what do we say at the end of every video? How soon you forget?
I don't forget. It's
travel safe.
And cruise often.
We're clear.